Hello. I would like to put my 2 cents in the YouTubers that got pregnant and now they're terminating the pregnancy because they did the test and found out their future child, high probability, will have Down syndrome. Now, for me, kudos to you. Kudos. I am pro-choice. Pregnancy is fucking hard, as it is. And once again, people are telling people what to do with their own bodies. The thing is, people forget that people don't live forever. So, being a carer for 20 years plus now, I've looked after with children and adults with learning disabilities of all kinds and all kinds of neurodivergent conditions. And they've all come from different backgrounds, especially religious ones, nunnery shit, and other institutions, into the community. And the thing is, these people from YouTube are from America. So already, how much is it to have a child in America? Hello. And not only that, the child will most likely have to go to the ICU or NICU when they're born, because Down syndrome is a condition that affects the heart. So lots of shit could be happening there. I think it's very odd that you would give a shit if people terminate pregnancy. A lot of people think they could look after children with learning disabilities into adults, but the thing is they can't. That's why this is my job. People can't, and there's no bad shit about it. I do not judge people for that. You need it. A lot of people walk away. I am a mum of a child that has long life conditions to do with not being born with esophagus. Windpipe wasn't hardly there. Esophagus still doesn't work. Windpipe is floppy. Autism. They also had hip dysplasia for many, many years. And they still walk like a little old man trying to find their car in a supermarket. And I give kudos to anyone who decides to not have children. I give you kudos if you want children or you have children. It's fucking hard no matter way. But yeah, especially to people with adults or children with learning disabilities or any other health condition. Because every day for 2 years, I either had health visitors coming to my door, because my child came home with a tube. And for a whole year, they came to my door every single day to monitor my child. Blue lights situation happened like 3 times a month because of the esophagus. Even with major surgery, for the rest of their life, they're going to have an operation to stretch it because it does not stretch whilst they grow. And obviously all conditions are different and it goes from one to the other. So everything is unique. Even if you think, oh yeah, we sound the same, it's very different. And I don't think humans can tolerate it mentally and physically, anything. It's very hard to have a child with a long life condition. And we've got away with it for 2 years, I would say, of not having a blue light situation. They obviously get ill and then can't eat solid food for a few weeks at a time. And that's unfortunately just the condition. They have to be on meds for the rest of their life. But it's a bit confusing when you hear new noises from your kid. Because if they have a cold, it will automatically end up being a chest infection because the esophagus is narrowing, the windpipe narrows, all of that. So when my child started doing a new cough, it seemed very routine when they would do it. So I just thought maybe it's a new stim or something. And then they would dry heave a lot, so I rang up the specialist and bless them, cannulas and all that. 3 hospital appointments already this month done. Lots of scans, poking, prodding, tests, all this shit. Swallow this, swallow that, all that crap. And I had a very serious phone call. I've done this in a previous video, but I was crying my eyes out. So in 2 days' time, we have to go take my child to her specialist. And once again, they have to be put asleep to see if the esophagus is just narrowing as small as it is, because when they obviously did all the scans and everything, it was slowly going down, because already we know the esophagus doesn't work at the end. That's why they've got to have meds for reflux and to go to the toilet. And it was quite heartbreaking because my child is very aware now, so it it was really hard last time. She was just like, I don't want this anymore. I wish I was normal. It's ridiculous. I have to go through all of this. And I've never seen my number one just throw shit about. They're nearly double figures in age, so they're very aware now. And this one is going to a specialist like 6 in the morning, and they can't eat as well, and they're not allowed to drink and all that. It's one of those because they have to be put to sleep, and they have to determine if the windpipe is narrowing and floppy, and the esophagus is getting smaller again. So best thing is that we have another stretch. So procedure, going to sleep, and ta-da, done for hopefully another year. Or my child has 2 scars on their back, so it looks like a roll of fat because it is here under the blades, both sides. And that is because her heart is very, very different. Very, very different. Valves don't go where they're meant to go and all that. They can't do any operation on the heart because it will kill them. The main artery isn't going around the esophagus, it's going in the esophagus, which we've known for ages. So we can't do anything but that because once again, it will kill them. So he said that the worst option is major surgery. And it's quite hard not to try and give all details to my child because obviously we don't know what the outcome is for this appointment, this going to sleep appointment. But I feel very broken for the last week or so, 2 weeks or so, because he said it was so difficult to perform it, because every condition, apart from autism, is a very rare condition they have, including they've only seen one other person with the same heart condition, and that was at someone's autopsy at the age of 50. So that's freaked me out ever since finding that out. And yeah, so obviously they can't do a lot of stuff because of the heart and the esophagus and everything. So yeah, so they have to go in and they might have to cut out what they made as an esophagus when they were a baby. And maybe have to cut out the windpipe. And the scariest bit of that was that I did all the tests as well, to check of any conditions fetus could have, and it's not detectable by any scans or any blood work or anything. It's not linked to DNA either, like it's not genetic. It's just one of those rare things that just unfortunately happens. So kudos to people who want children. Kudos to people that have children. Kudos to people that don't want children. And kudos to the people with conditions. It terrifies me that I will die one day, at any time as well I could die, and people won't look after them and know everything. Because that's the problem, isn't it? Is you hope that you die before your children, but also it terrifies me that that if my child has to have major surgery, that they might not wake up. So I'm very pro-choice, and I think it's ridiculous that you all try and push people to have children they don't want to have yet, and they can't emotionally handle or financially handle it. It's not a nice life to have, because you have to act all happy all the time from your children when at any time their conditions could kill them, because it could. This is also why we're home ed, because the amount of times that we had to go to hospital for years, like I said, either people come around our house every day, and then after a year it was like we went over to the hospital every other day in our local town and our local city, and then it would be, like I said, three times a month, blue lights going on, and then it would be monthly. So kudos to people that don't want children, or don't feel ready to have a child, especially with a condition. Because working in care for 20 years as well, I've worked with babies in the same condition as my child, tubes and everything, all the way up to end of life care. And people like to throw money at you as a parent or a guardian and think that fixes it, but they aren't there emotionally. And the amount of people that just went, oh, I thought you wanted to be on your own for a bit, when I was sat at the hospital 24 hours a day. It's quite heartbreaking how lonely it is, how lonely it really is. And you've got all these people cutting healthcare all the time and completely forgetting about children like this or adults like this, where they really, really need help all the time. And it's forgotten, and parents have forgotten, guardians have forgotten. Yeah, if I lived in America, I would be millions and millions of pounds and dollars in debt. But I've got the NHS. But luckily, because my child is under 16, they get seen quite quick. But when you're 16, you'll be classed as an adult in the NHS. So waiting could be ages. And also, we applied for PIP numerous of times, and we didn't have enough evidence, even though I had 70 pages. And yet, I'm seeing people making fun of it. That people have brought out new PIP rules of who could apply, and they're all making fun of it. Oh, it's all hemorrhages. Doesn't matter if someone's got hemorrhoids. You don't know their fucking condition. It's obviously not just hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids can be fucking brutal, man. Shows you once again people that don't work in care are and again. So I applaud anyone that decides to have an abortion. Cause it's hard. It is hard. It's so hard, especially when as well people disappear. Your village, there is no village. They get a bit bored after a while of trying to look like the fantastic support you get. And yeah, being in care for 20 years, you see once the parents die, siblings don't want to hardly see the people that we care for. And then they blame you, it turns on you out of guilt for not seeing them. So yeah, it's not a fun thing. So leave people alone. Leave people alone. If they medically need to have an abortion because it's going to bring long life, pain and harm to the child, why would you? That's very selfish. Don't be selfish. You want to have it? Have it. Don't. It's up to you lot and your doctor. That's it. Leave people alone. And if you want to be child free, be fucking child free, man. Leave them alone as well. You know? Who gives a shit? Why are you so interested? What happens in people's pants? Or when they got no clothes on? It's weird. You're all obsessed with that. Ugh.